Ma'am, would you like me to review the stock? What happened, or are you going to do it?
So, I'll do it. Right now for the pre-market, we have things are slightly up, as you can see, and including oil, and the 10-year bond rate is slightly down, which makes sense. For the United States, we were slightly down today in the market. So, not between 0.5% and 0.75%. And the VIX, I guess is what I would still consider volatile, but not as bad as it has been closer to the 20s, 18, 19s, 20s. So that is that. And then we will now go into the Tradestation, if I can get that caca up.
I have a surprise. If you can look at DG, that would be great.
Right now, or like just
Yes, right now.
okay. Okay, so I have a request. What is DG again? Dollar General. So
Yes, Dollar General went cray-cray because they called their old buddy CEO to come back and help them out. And so it went cray-cray in the aftermarket.
So that's the only thing that caused this to happen. So it was a disaster down day.
Yes, it was 102 or something, and now it's 110.
To our 100 price. And now, wait, so it went down to basically the low of the day was 101.09. And now it jumped up to 110. So looks like fake news to me, unless there's something else with this.
Yes.
They call their own so
no
I kind of like to put this on the 110.25 on the notice as a short.
Yes, ma'am. This is why I brought it up. Thank you.
Because unless, and maybe we'll talk about the news if you have any articles or have anything that goes with that news.
Yes, I do, ma'am.
The old CEO is coming back, which I'm assuming people liked him. We had this issue with Disney when they brought back their old CEO, and we see how good that went.
What was the price? 110 what?
110.25.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem. So, all right. So
sorry for the interruption, but I thought it was important.
No problem. So back to and we would have probably talked about it then too, and it would have been the first thing we probably looked at, based on it being up the yin yang. Right now over 6%, and everything else, if we didn't have this big crazy thing, would have been under 2%. So we talked about Dollar General, and I'm surprised this did not affect Dollar Tree a little bit. Let's see.
I think it did. It was a sympathy play.
Because they are owned by the same people. Yeah, and as you can see, where we close 107.5, it basically got as high as 110.
Mm-hmm.
So but it's already come down. So we can have what you call it. We can put Dollar Tree on the nose uh as a short watch, or just as a sympathy. Do as a sympathy watch for short, but put it at the uh let's say 109.75 price,
Yes, ma'am.
or 109.80, whatever you want. So that's that. And we'll look at Tarjay, only because
He
we're
was in
looking
this bisnotch all day.
shorting it.
I think he was going both ways. You know
Oh,
how he is. He can go a little cray-cray, like if he has like he likes going long on everything.
uh-huh.
So I think he was going long, trying to like fight the wave.
Okay. Well, if he was going long all day, it looks like, unless he just went from here to
Let me
here
let me
long,
let me verify that because it was on the sticky, I think.
or unless he went from here to here. But that wouldn't surprise me. Because you have to look at it where we closed at yesterday, 109, and then it jumped up to 113. I would have, if I had saw this, Elisa, I would have shorted this. So that's
Yes.
the thing. I love these plays where something just bounces up, and Target's been Puerto Rico for who knows how long, and it just bounces up for no reason. Um,
I think there might have been a reason, but it wasn't a very
yeah,
strong one. I'm
but
gonna look it up.
it bounces up, and then we still have this wick down or whatever, and it just seems like, yeah, it's probably finally on its way up. But as much as it came up, um, especially after the market, um, it seems like I would have just so this was yesterday. Then today, this morning, it bounced up like this. Yeah, if I had seen this, I would have wanted to short this. Um,
Yeah, he
and
went long. He went long.
I think you would have, yeah. Um, I think you would have, if you were looking at it, you would have done the same thing too.
Yes, I would. I'd ignore it because I was focusing on, my favorito,
Mhm.
Vana Vana.
So that's that. So we can get here. It seems like this could be headed back up, but honestly, compared to what it was before, if I could get it at 111.50 to 113, obviously 113 is preferred, I would short it. So I don't know if you want to put it in or whatever, but I would look at it as a potential short. Let's say that. Sorry
Okay, I
about
put it in
that.
the notes.
All right. So so now we have Insana, and let's see, what do we have. So today Mensana was kind of all over the place. I guess you could have went up, basically 180 to 182 and a quarter. That's good money, $2.25 basically. And then you could have went down even more, basically $3. So, and then back up another dollar. So, um, this if you stayed in it, it was a good it was a good it was a good play. I would say. But now it's continuing to go back up, so maybe it's heading back up here. So I don't know. It just depends on how the day will be tomorrow. Let's see. Are we in any key metrics? So we're based on the trend. We're about to come down, and um, this is meeting its peak. So um, I would think if this continues to be true, I would think maybe at best we get to this 190, but maybe not. Is this a gap here? Maybe we fill a couple of these gaps. Let's see. So we have a gap here. So maybe we fill this gap, which gets here, and then we head down. So I would look at this as a potential short between 183 and 190 myself. Um, but yeah, it all depends on how the market's going. Yeah. But if this does go down, it will bring everything else with it. So I guess we can watch for you know, a short in that range for Apple. Um Nikete, what am I saying? Nikete, Walmart. We'll just look at that because we looked at, you know what? We looked at Target. This has been strong. Now it's starting to look weak based off of the trend. We had consecutive humps or mountains or whatever you want to call this going up, and now it's starting that it may be going down just based off of this trend here. I would be a little hesitant because this is Walmart and it doesn't move like that, and we had a big drop. Like it seems like it did well in revenue and in earnings, but most likely that was probably the lead up that people knew, and now it's probably going to allow itself to come down, and then so we can go back up for the holidays. So let's see how this is. Yeah, even though it was like a 0.5%, it's it seems like it went up more. So let's see. Nikete, still same thing, about 0.5%. All over the place, I would say, from 100 all the way down to 98. It's yeah, I really don't get this. It's because, you know, yes, if you look at it from where it closed at, there was not much movement, but overall this was just kind of, you know, you could have done a lot of things with this up down or wherever for anyone who was paying attention. So here trend is heading down. But we did have a big gap up. I guess based off of the trend, if you're looking at the trend, you would think that this is going to come back down. So I know I'm talking a lot of shorts, but it's I would see it as coming down before it goes back up, because it has to come back up, you would think, for the holidays. This is what people would think. And then it's come down for earnings. So I could see it possibly filling the gap, getting to this level here, this 86 level, and then going back up for the holidays before, maybe doing a Santa Claus rally, as they call it, right after the holidays, and then just heading down. But usually to get back up here, you're looking at the time. What is this? 11 to what is this? 9. So this was basically almost a year. So I don't know if we're gonna have that much time, because right now, based on, let's say, 2022, we're right around this time frame. We're just in opposite areas. Like, we were at the highs then. And we kind of went up through Christmas and then came down. So now we're basically at the lows, and we're going to be coming up through Christmas, I would assume, and then go down. But I would figure we can't go up as much in this short time frame. So I guess I feel that just based on the charts, I would think we're not going to be as strong as we were last year, and I'm a little bit more bearish feeling. But that all can change. So we talked about Amazon. We talked about our price here. And then obviously things went down because of lawsuits and all of that craziness. It seems as if we've started to come back, but the trend's curving again. So again, I don't know if we're gonna get back up here for Christmas, for the holidays. Maybe we'll have some little type of rally. You know, maybe get back here or something like that, and then head back down. But it doesn't look great from my perspective. But let's see. Because everyone's saying that they're gonna announce a what do we call this thing? A recession after the holidays. Which I would think they would. Just based on everything that's happening. AMD. So we're here, and this went down to this is not recent. Where was that 90 thing where I lost? Now I'm mentally unprepared to talk about AMD because some terrible things happened with me and AMD. I didn't want to talk about it for a while. But we got down to areas that were just probably, we got down lower than 100 right now. Yeah, so it was probably here. And I got out right before. I got out probably here as it was coming down. And then I could have made the narrow after holding this for a great long time. And I did it, and it got to the bottom. And then now it's starting to come back up, even though the trend is pointing towards it being down. So it will probably come back up, diddle in the middle, and then do a tank fest. Same thing as the others after the wonderful holiday season. Basically, you could have gone up and down here. XOM played around a little bit with this, held it overnight. And this was an overnight play that I had a good feeling about. I like this overnight play, Well, I actually meant to get out right before it closed, and I did it. And um, it's kind of like a cautionary warning to people that sometimes you try to wait until the last minute. And I was trying to be cute and get out, break things up, and get out at the last minute. And I said, I'll just get out here when it's you know, right after the market ends, because I thought there'll be enough volatility. The caca never took my order. Okay. So basically, it bounced up to the price, as you can see, multiple times and stay here, but it never took my order. Even when I split it up into 53 pieces and 225s, if I had did it right here, right before it closed, I would have been all set. But trying to get that last thing to see if, hey, maybe it'll do a jump, I got screwed. So basically, I had my order GTC plus. It went there several times, didn't execute, and then it started to come down. And then the next day, because it did a pop up, I still had my 3 orders. And before 8, I said, "Oh, let me get in." I saw that in the what you call it, it was kind of a little bit high, still in the before 8 in the pre market. So I put some orders up here, and as you can see, got out, got out, and then because of unforeseen circumstances, I got out a little lower because I was indisposed this morning, or I would have obviously got out here. But yeah, it's a cautionary tale, even though I made out here, and this was how I got uh, a few dollars and got me up for the day without doing much. It's because I held something overnight, and I ended up making good on it, but I still would have made my money for that day and had those funds available for the next day if I had just got out here to here. But basically, I should have got out in the market while the market was open. Um, Even though, yes, this is the difference between $100 and let's say 200. Um, but still, by holding it overnight, this dinero was not available for uh, for the market today, and will be available tomorrow. Versus if I had got out here or here, it would have been available today. And then if I had seen that, knowing me, if I had saw the pop up, I probably would have tried to short it a little bit, especially if I had got it somewhere up here or here or whatever. I would have tried to short this and at least got out maybe around here, you know. So yeah. Uh, let's see, what time do we have? Softy, we'll take a look at that really quick, just to look. Um, to me, this thing is still diddling in the middle. It's still basically same thing I've reiterated with all these other stocks, Amazon and all these tech slash bank stocks. I would have, nothing to write home about. It's the same thing. Banco, you know where
Does
that's
Bank
at.
of America or have earnings mañana?
I'll check for you. It's been coming up a little bit. I'm still hesitant on the banks, honestly. So, 5 days, October 17th. So, especially since everything's been going down, that kind of tells me, hey, things are probably not great. So, because of this, I would tend to want to wait to see what earnings are. And then if earnings are good, then I'd go up with it. But nothing's leading me to think that this is good. If anything, if I was strong on bankers, I'd probably just put in order in here right around 25.
Go
And just
Disney. It's your birthday.
so we're getting into the slightly negative items, and Disney has been very good for us. It had a dip with a little wick, but seeing what it was before, aka here, it's just you really can't complain. And as long as we've held it, basically since not here, but basically since like around 80, it's just yeah, basically almost here, basically yeah, so almost at the top. Like stupid people, we've just held it. We bought it at the
Like
wrong
stupid.
spot.
Yes,
Yeah,
when they told us to buy it,
yes, right when they said
when they
buy it,
told us,
because it
hey, this
had
is a good buy, we
uh,
went ahead and bought it, and it wasn't a
even
good buy at
though
all.
we had developed this spot to buy, um, I'm not gonna
Yes.
say years, but let's just say months before.
We
Certain months
completely ignored our
completely ignored that.
analysis and ignored our
And
analysis and went with the bozos analysis.
yes. And so when they told us to buy $10 early, we bought $10 early. Even
And this
though
tells you folks, do your own analysis. You don't have to listen to everything the bozos say and go with your gut instinct and just wait. You may
especially when you do your own analysis and you have it available and you're looking right at it, don't disregard that, because everything that they say is going to be after the fact or before the fact. And in this
yes.
case, it's before the fact. It's kind of like, hey, a heads up, we're getting there. But if someone had been smart, they would have already done their analysis and said, okay, this is the buy zone. So,
And
yeah.
did we listen to ourselves? No,
So
we did
finally,
not.
it got to that buy zone and it started coming up. So even though we're going to have some down days, we're going to slowly come up. And then we just have to decide, because we've held it so long, if we're going to just get rid of it. Let's say here at this 100 level, this would be a good level. Um, you know,
Say that again. And
probably
this
that
is a
would be the
cautionary
best
tale,
stuff,
folks. It's a cautionary tale. Just
because
wait.
everything is so down. Um, this could be something that potentially it's an underrated stock. So you could hold it to this kind of like would be now it would be a support level, and it could hold it up here to these peaks here, which maybe you have a little dip, but at least you get a little bit more money. Or if you're willing to wait, this area to this area would be the ultimate level where you would want to get out at. So if you're doing this like we're, let's say, trying to do Campbell's or something like that, even though we got a kind of a not a great price, you still could say, hey, let me hold it up to 180. Maybe because Disney's been kind of weird. But I think everyone's pretty sure Disney's going to win their lawsuit with the state of Florida. And that's kind of obvious, at least to me it is. Even though the
Disney is a solid company. It's not a
also
crapola company. This thing has mucho dinero and it's been beaten up, but this too shall pass. You have to find companies like this. So even if it goes down, ultimately it's gonna dust itself back and keep it moving. But if you jump onto these like arms and VFSs, that's just a whole lot of fluff.
also you have to understand that they just announced they're raising the prices for um for the parks, the theme parks. So that's that. Google, we'll do just a quick look at that. This seems a little bit stronger than the others. I don't see a turn here yet. So maybe this can potentially get to this location before it starts to come down. So maybe this can come up before it starts coming down, but time will tell. M is terrible. We're in it. It's got into the low. All we're doing is hoping that it comes to a reasonable amount, can get to 15 for the holidays, so we can KAT. I want to add this or look at this as a potential short. This is Meta. If you guys have been watching, you know how I feel about Meta and about this area for shorting. Yes, you could wait till it gets here or here. But I really feel that once this gap was filled, it will start to come down. If people you want to start nibbling at, I think this is good as any. So I 322.90. I like this as a short tomorrow, believe it or not, people. But long term, yeah, it's already, yeah, it came up. Yeah, basically the short play was for today or whatever. I still like this as a short. If you get a bounce here, let's put this on the notes and say short watch, Elisa.
Yes, ma'am.
Anywhere from
What?
just say from 325 all the way up to 330. It's just a watch. Could have got it today, would have been grand.
Do you want to put a notification?
No, we're gonna go through the notes tomorrow. So,
Yes, ma'am.
but as a long-term play, if it definitely can get here to this 350, I like the short, not investment advice, of course.
Not investment advice, but yes, it's a good one.
So we're not gonna look at Home Depot. We're not gonna. Well, I guess we can look at this. Okay, we're getting down to our levels. This is getting close to a long play on here. So here's our area for a long play, people. So, and we're already there. And you see how long it took. Less than a month.
It just went like waterfall down, like dumpster fire.
Less than a month.
It basically took a long time to get up there, like over a year.
ABC.
And in less than a month, it just went
down.
kaboom.
So
just wait till 10.
Tesla was negative today. And yeah, no commentary on this either. Tesla goes with the swing, so you can kind of do whatever you want with this. But overall, we were more down today. As you can see how everything's negative here. American, I'm not even going to look at that. We know how terrible that's been. Tractor Supply, Taco, Boeing. It's going back to its old self again. It had 1 or 2 decent days. A couple decent days. And now it seems like it's going back to normal, which we would expect based off of this. So you can't get tricked by a few decent days. It's take that as, hey, got a chance to go on it, but long term it looks more of the short variety. We got 7.5% here. This is a level that we like.
Wow.
As we have this level here. But because we're going into winter, right here, this was a level of support going up. But because we're going into the winter now, this may be an area where it could possibly reject and come down. So if you
It
want
could
to
be a free, but it's what we call bottom breakdown.
if you want to I've never heard of that term or don't recall.
It's what Sharif
No,
likes to
I
call it.
believe it. I believe, yeah. I've just never but basically this could be a rejection level and easily come down. So if you feel like holding some shares into the winter months or whatever, here you go right here. You know, maybe you want to wait for it to bounce up a little bit, but maybe you want to average in. This is put this on the notice between 250 and 275 short, long-term short for 2 to whatever months, 2 to 5 months, or whatever you want to call it.
And it's fairly cheap, guys. Fairly cheap.
Another thing, real quick, and I'll let you do your Dollar General thing. Piton. If anybody was interested in getting a Piton to see if it would do a bounce for the Christmas, it's back at 5. So it got down to 4.95. So this was that level. If it breaks through, then we probably will give a little bit of leeway, maybe possibly down to this 450 area, but nothing lower than that. And we're gonna try to see if it'll come up for the holidays. That's all I have. I'm gonna stop sharing. I know we only have 250. Do you have that Dollar General article or whatever up and running? Sorry, it took so long, but I was talking slow today, and then I was distracted by Hintis making noise and stuff.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that. I do have the artículo. Okay. Let's see. Dollar General stock jumps after company taps former CEO.
This play,
Okay.
oh, it's not off.
It's really short. Sorry. Dollar General shares rose 8% in extended hours trading after saying former chief executive Todd Vasos was returning to his old position months after he retired from the company. Vasos stepped down as CEO of the Goodlesville, Tennessee-based discount retailer nearly a year earlier, succeeded by Jeff Owen. Vasos, who remained on the company's board of directors, served as an advisor until April when he retired. Dollar General Chairman Michael Calbert said the change was necessary to restore stability and confidence in the company moving forward. The stock had fallen 59% this year before the announcement.
Yeah. If you like it, buy it at 100.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So that's all I have. I can say hasta luego, and I know we're gonna be cut off in a minute.
I don't know if you want to read another article. Oh, we don't have a minute. We only have a minute. Yes, that's it. It was a great review. I have a lot of notes, and we will discuss mañana.
How are you gonna send me the note?
The usual method.
Okay. What is that, text?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
This is my standard operatic.
Okay. I will see you then. And I'm trying to watch some wings.